She walked through the streets of Makkah at night, carrying thorns and firewood on her back, plotting how to hurt the Prophet. Her name was Jamil, the wife of Abu Lahab, and what happened to her on the day she was strangled by her own necklace of fire is one of the most terrifying ends ever recorded in Islamic history. The curse of Jamil. Allah named her in the Quran. Allah cursed her by description, and Allah promised her a death so disgraceful, even the disbelievers of Makkah whispered about it for years. But here's what almost no one talks about. The exact moment Surah Al-Masad was revealed, Jamil ran through the streets with a stone in her hand, searching for the Prophet to kill him. What happened next is a miracle that proves the Quran is from Allah. Stay with me till the end, because the way she died will leave you speechless. Assalamu alaikum, beloved viewers. Welcome back to Heart of Guidance. Who was Jamil? To understand her story, you must understand who she was. Her real name was Arwa bint Harb. She was the sister of Abu Sufyan, one of the most powerful men in Makkah. She was wealthy, noble, beautiful, and she wore a necklace of precious jewels around her neck, a necklace she once swore she would sell to fund a war against Prophet Muhammad. She was married to Abu Lahab, the uncle of the Prophet. By blood, this man should have protected the Prophet. By Arab custom, he was bound to defend his nephew with his life. But instead, he became the Prophet's worst enemy. And Jamil? She was worse than her husband. Every night, while Makkah slept, she would gather thorns from the desert, sharp, twisted thorns, and she would place them on the path the Prophet walked to pray. She wanted his feet to bleed. She wanted him to suffer. That's why the Quran called her, and I quote, the carrier of firewood. Hammalat al-Hatabi, a title of eternal shame, recorded in a book that will be read until the day of judgment. The revelation that shook Makkah. Now here's where the story takes a chilling turn. One day the Prophet climbed the hill of Safa. He called the entire Quraysh together. Every tribe came, even Abu Lahab. The Prophet said, "If I told you an army was behind this mountain ready to attack you, would you believe me?" They all replied, "Yes, because we have never heard you lie." Then the Prophet said, "I am a warner to you of a severe punishment to come." And in that moment, Abu Lahab stood up, his face red with rage, and screamed, "Taban Laka, may you perish! Is this why you gathered us?" He picked up a stone to throw at the Prophet, and then the heavens responded. Jibril A.S. descended with a surah Allah revealed not as a general warning, but as a direct personal curse on Abu Lahab and his wife by name. Tabat yada Abi Lahabin wa tabba. Perish the two hands of Abu Lahab, and perish he. This is the only place in the entire Quran where a specific enemy of the Prophet is cursed by name until the day of judgment. But the surah didn't stop there. It continued. And what it said about Jamil is the part that destroys me every time I read it. The prophecy against Jamil. Allah revealed, وَامْرَأَتُهُ حَمَّالَةَ الْحَطَبِ أَيْكِي فِي جِيدِهَا حَبْلٌ مِّن مَسَدٍ. And his wife, the carrier of firewood, around her neck will be a rope of twisted fiber. Think about this for a moment. This wealthy woman, one who wore necklaces of gold and jewels, was promised by Allah that in the hellfire around her noble neck would be a rope of masad, a coarse, burning rope of fire. The very neck she decorated with diamonds to mock the Prophet would be the same neck used to drag her into the fire. When this surah reached Jamil, she lost her mind. She grabbed a stone, a heavy stone, and ran through the streets of Makkah screaming, "Where is Muhammad? Where is the man who insults my husband?" She found the Prophet sitting with Abu Bakr, R.A., near the Kaaba. But here's the miracle. She walked right up to them, right past the Prophet, and she could not see him. She turned to Abu Bakr, R.A., and shouted, "Where is your companion? I've heard he insulted my husband. If I find him, I'll smash his mouth with this stone." Abu Bakr, R.A., was stunned. The Prophet was sitting right there, visible to him, but completely invisible to her. Allah had placed a veil between her eyes and his messenger. She left in fury, never knowing she had stood inches from the man she came to kill. The horrifying death. Years passed. Abu Lahab died first. He died of a plague, a disease so disgusting his own sons refused to bury him for 3 days. They threw stones over his rotting body from a distance because no one could bear the smell. But Jamil? Her death is the part history almost erased. Some narrations tell us that one day, while she was carrying her usual bundle of thorns, those same thorns she used to place in the prophet's path, the rope tied around her neck holding the bundle suddenly tightened. She tripped, the thorns dug into her back, and the rope of palm fiber, Masad, strangled her to death. She died exactly the way Allah described in the Quran, with a rope around her neck, carrying firewood, just as the prophecy said. Pattern interrupt, silence, then heartbeat sound. Other narrations say she was found dead in the desert, her body twisted around the very thorns she had collected. Either way, the woman who tried to choke the message of Islam with thorns was choked to death by the rope she carried. The lesson that haunts. This is not just a story, this is a warning. Surah Al-Masad teaches us 4 terrifying truths. 1. Wealth cannot save you. Abu Lahab was rich. Jamil was noble. They had everything this world offered. And it meant nothing when Allah's decree came. 2. Family ties don't matter without faith. Abu Lahab was the Prophet's uncle. Same blood, same tribe, same name connection. But he died as one of the most cursed men in history. 3. The way you harm others is the way you will be destroyed. She carried thorns to hurt the Prophet. She died by those same thorns. This is divine justice. 4. The Quran is a miracle. Allah named her and her husband 400 years ago. He predicted exactly how they would die. And it happened. Word for word. Now ask yourself this question and be honest. What are you carrying on your back right now? Is it sins? Is it backbiting? Is it harm against another believer? Because every soul carries something. And on the day of judgment, that bundle will either save you or strangle you. If this story shook your heart, give this video a like so YouTube shares this warning with more Muslims. Comment, Ya Allah, forgive me, if you ever want Allah to lift the burden from your shoulders before it's too late. Subscribe to Heart of Guidance and turn on the notification bell. Because next, I'm uncovering the shocking story behind Surah Al-Masad. The surah revealed about a man who mocked the Prophet behind his back, and the horrifying punishment Allah prepared for him in a fire that has a name. May Allah protect us from arrogance, from harming His messenger, and from dying in a state of disbelief. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.